How's it going, guys? Welcome to week 6? 6, I think, of the PGBL. This is a little bit late. I was on vacation for a big chunk of last week, and I had already coordinated with my opponent, who is Route 8100, the captain of the New Jersey Brobats, to say, hey, you know what? I would like to have it during week 7, and he was cool with that, so that's why we're here this week. So you guys are actually going to get 2 games this week. I'm probably going to upload this one on either Thursday or Friday, and then I will upload this week's actual game. Regular time is what we're doing there. So, with that in mind, let me see if I can find him. I have confirmed that he's online. It's just a matter of if and when I find him, because this is always it's always very fun to try to locate these people. So, let me log online real quick. I did add him. So, at this point, it's a matter of connecting and going from there. So, apologies if this is removing the immersion a little at the beginning of the video. I'll probably include a timestamp somewhere in there just to skip to the game. I think I did that in a couple of previous uploads. I might as well just do that now. Yeah, I have had, like, no prep for this game because I have been on vacation for... You know, the fact of the matter is I was supposed to have it last week, and then real life caught up to me so much that I had to literally stop everything for a day and be like, hey, when can I play him? And oh, there he is. I see the boy. New Jersey. I think I said New York Brobats on accident. It's New Jersey. It is definitely New Jersey. It's in my goddamn layout. Like, it's right, that's an NJ, that's not an NY. What? Why are you turning down the request, boy? Excuse me. Sir. Let's try that again. I'm requesting it. I got it. What in tarnation? Well, a game will happen eventually, is what I'm thinking here. That's usually what happens with these videos. You know, I start recording, and then within 2-3 minutes, we get something going, I guess. But yeah, very unfortunately, not as much prep has gone into this round as I've wanted to, which I feel like my opponent definitely does not deserve that. But I'd had the vacation planned since before I knew I was going to enter the league, so it just lined up that way. I was like, I'm going to have a pretty sparse summer with no commitments, and they were like, nope! Well, for whatever reason, it seems like my requests are timing out, so... if anybody in here is able to add him, or maybe I could do it myself if he's hanging out in here. Pick up, buddy. Oh, there we go. Cool. That'll do it. And I'll pick myself. I was getting a little nervous. Just gotta remind myself, calm down. Just a game. Just a freaking game. I think I got my Z moves and everything okay. And from here... Let's see... So, things I want to discuss, I guess as soon as they come along, are the Monza I have chosen for this game are Charizard, Silvally, Ferrothorn, Zapdos, Zygarde, and Smeargle. I completely fucked up the order, but whatever, it's all good. Aw, thanks, Cody. And, this is what we got going on. So... As soon as he picks up, we'll be good to go. I'm in no kind of mood to discuss what I was thinking about my opponent's team because, truthfully, I'll figure out my mindset as soon as I see it. And the reason I did not choose a Mega is because the amount of Psychic types he happens to have. For people that are asking in my Twitch chat right now, he had 3 available Psychic types on his roster. It always ends up being pretty fat and pretty weird to not bring it, so I've got other options in mind. So there's that. and then I can do that. So 2 of the mons I thought were going to show up actually did show up, which is pretty interesting. There's one in here that I am kind of scared of. Interesting. Okay. I mean, I can probably work with that. So... let's see. The one thing I would like to do here is... I feel like this might be a panic play, but... I don't see any immediate reason not to do that, you know? Anyways, here we go. Got some mons. Got 6 mons versus 6 mons. We all know how it goes. We do see the B-drill. Sure. Biva. I like it. I have a pretty good vibe of what I think it's gonna do on turn 1, so we'll just kind of go with it. Just a matter of what he'll do after. That kind of scares me. I'm not sure how adequately prepared I am for this. But we knew this was happening. This specifically. Not, well, maybe not that, but I mean, I can kind of work with it, I guess. I mean, sure, I guess. Bit odd. I'm not questioning it too much yet. It's a little scary on turn 1, but it is a thing that I'm fighting right now, certainly. And he decides, well, that is just really not a good time. So, that's cool. As expected, that will certainly not be doing anything. This switch, on the other hand, is a little unfortunate. Well, tell you what, this is what I'm gonna try here. It's a little interesting, you know, dealing with this combination of mons here. Because there was probably 2 other team members I was preparing for here. But they just didn't show up. But, I mean, I will take the, I'll take the free 25% on B-drill. That's really valuable to me, and the fact he did it to himself is, I'm not complaining there. Just decided that Ferrothorn wasn't really a good answer to that. The problem now is what is going to happen on this exchange. So this is gonna hurt like a bitch. Is what I can tell you guys right now. No burn. No burn. Very valuable. There was a lot of other mons I was thinking would have showed up here. Actually, there's a particular move I have for a few other mons. But I'll take... Oh! Very cool. He actually had the Shuckaberry for this situation. Alright, good, good. I like it. He was expecting it. Early trade? Okay. Let's see here. The one thing I do definitely want to do right now, though, is... let's do that. So it's a bit unfortunate losing that mon like that. Shuckaberry wasn't really consideration in my mind. But what I think, this is probably Kartana? Yeah. And from here, I would definitely want to... This is an interesting play here. Actually, no, this is fine. I actually think this is his defogger. So, that's good to know. It certainly did change things up a little bit. Because I was thinking he was gonna bring his namesake as Crobat, as Brobat. Chooses not to do that instead, and Leaf Blade not doing any damage there, which is fine. What are my options here? That's fine too. I'm expecting Volcanion here. But I actually catch Necrozma on webs. Also fine. Now my thing here is, what does this Necrozma do? And I mean, I can try this. This game is certainly an interesting one. He goes for Toxic. Well, the sash is broken, but I mean, it's sort of fine, I guess. So from here, but he is no, I have no benefit to doing that. Well, we'll probably trade here. No? Okay, that works too. And then at this point, let's see. What do I have as good middle ground here, I guess? I mean, I could do this. This is alright, I suppose. Because this is probably... yeah, this is Kartana. So we get a little bit of that. And this continues to be, you know, a power play against this. There's no reason, you know, 10 out of 10 times not to make this switch. So there is the defog. He does have it on that. And that's fine. Smeargle's still around, so I'm not too worried. Pretty... I feel like I'm rushing into these turns too quickly. But it's basically, it's a hazards game is all it is so far. That's all we've proven to each other. Hey, I have hazards, hey, versus hey, I can blow them away. There's not much else going on beyond that, truthfully. So... And he does switch. Don't Google. True? True? It's not something you really want to Google. And I did reveal Heat Wave. Got a nice little chunk lit off. That's fine, I guess. And then... Alright, we can do this. That one certainly is a problem there. Just got a few concerns in the back of my mind. I had that in the back of my mind, honestly. So... Let's see. I want to see his responses. And like it was in the back of my mind. I was like, this is such a popular set. But I think I've got something that'll make things okay. On top of that, he's now no longer Choice Scarfed, which is a really big plus. And the fact that I still have a Ferrothorn, albeit not frozen, just crippled into one move. I'd rather have a Ferrothorn that can go for one move versus a Ferrothorn that can't go for any moves. So... And I mean, this is Larry the Volcanion. What do I have you for? I have you for quite a few things, actually. Okay, time to think about this a little bit. I need that. I definitely need that. I mean, here's the very clear thing here. I definitely have to switch. So... a little bit of a bad foot. I forgot to switch the item. I think. No? What's happening there? I think I know what's happening here. It's giving off the appearance of a different type. Because I forgot to drop it back in the box when I swapped items. That is definitely a hexing thing. So I'm hoping he's keeping in mind that it is a normal type in the regular preview. Odd. But I guess that's what happens when I do my changes within the box. So Dwayne is the Necrozma back again. Not taking anything from this. So let's get a little creative here. Yeah, we should definitely let Root know about that. It does show up on the screen, and it does show up on your move choices as well. So your super effective thing, it's purely cosmetic. But I can see why the fins would cause a little bit of weird psychology there. Okay, so from here, I would like to go to... I think that works fine. Tricky stuff. We're still a 6-5 game. Is the major thing here. And I get the feeling that there's gonna be one Mon he has that's pretty much gonna be the last Mon on the field. Just the way he'll play it out. Okay, so he does switch. Yep, that's the switch I thought. Excellent. And then from here... I had a feeling that would happen. I just... And then from here... Let's try this. And then get a little creative here. It's already been 21 turns? I'm sorry I'm not very talkative all of a sudden. I'm just realized like how engrossed I am in this game. There's many different branches going on in terms of, you know, how these turns can play out. And I need to remember that not every path is going to be correct. But you do what you can. He does... Beedrill's scary. Beedrill is definitely a scary one to run into. Oh, track's over. That's how you know it's been 18 minutes, definitely. Are we gonna start over? There you go. This is a really, really, really scary turn. He's got a lot to think about. Civilly is a versatile. Yes! Alright. That's why it was important that we told him it was a normal one. It gives off the appearance of a memory, but it's actually a choice scarfed one. That's why I was so concerned with it. If I was a regular base speed, I wouldn't have been concerned. But he needed to know that many turns in advance. But I'm sure at this point, many people in the chat have told him that it's a PKSM mistake when you swap items from a memory to something else. Regardless, I'm sure it's still not a very pleasant surprise. I don't mean that to seem like it was a deceptive play or anything like that. It's interesting that he brings it in like that. Oh, no, actually, that does make sense. That makes absolute sense. Uh-oh! You could, like... Okay, so he is Swords Dance, Leaf Blade, Defog, and more than likely something else that cannot touch me. That's probably the most important part. Kartana doesn't really get a lot of coverage that can hit Zapdos for a good amount of damage. It is a +2 Kartana. He does have a Z move. It looks like this is going to be a Bloom Doom. This is a +2 Bloom Doom versus a fully physically defensive Zapdos at full HP. This is going to be a very interesting calc. We live it. And we're able to knock out the Kartana. 2 Mons in 2 turns. 2 very, very fast Mons. And Zapdos the MVP, completely shutting down that Z move. I'm not gonna lie, that hurt like a bitch, but there's a thing called poker faces, ladies and gentlemen. We gotta keep them. And then this bastard's here. The Chinchino has arrived. But here's the thing about that. We don't really care about Chinchino. As long as I've got a Ferrothorn, I don't really care too much about Chinchino. But for everybody in the chat underestimating a Zapdos, don't. Don't. Alright, so we got Larry again. Do I still need Zapdos? I don't know if I need Zapdos. I don't think I need Zapdos, actually. At this point. I value the safe switch in much more. Plus, he could also miss a Steam Eruption. Does it happen? Does it happen when I speak it? I don't want to salt. I don't want to salt because that truthfully was really, 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 really unfortunate on his behalf. It does have Hydro Pump's accuracy though. It does have Hydro Pump's accuracy. Let me reiterate that. If you can miss a Hydro Pump, you can miss a Steam Eruption. So, in a surprise turn of events, Zapdos is still in this bitch, which is really freaking cool. I have not established how fast this thing is, though. I get, and I'm faster. I'm faster. This, I'm so sorry for doubting you, Zapdos. You are truly the real Phoenix. So, as you can see, this bird that I had forsaken for dead has been given a new lease on life. And absolutely refuses to die. This Zapdos just does not give up. So let's pass the baton off here. It's my turn to have the library card. I'm the one with the reads now. And now nobody's around to wipe the paint off. I think these are more important. The webs are here. Actually, Necrozma was actually the thing I wanted to put to sleep the most, arguably. For sure. And a Poison Smeargle, keep in mind, is still an alive Smeargle. And with no hazard control on the end, you know, literally just need a little bit more to go. I was not feeling too good at the beginning of this, but, you know, you still got 5 mons, you can pull it back in. It's unfortunate I lost Zygarde so soon, but the team goes on. Plus, there is one mon I have not actually even brought onto the field yet. So, I would love for that to happen soon. And I mean, this will... Yeah, this is fine. This really won't do much at all. If I'm not mistaken, this almost looks like Scarf damage. Or it's King's Rock. I really couldn't tell you. But, as you can see, I'm not scared of that whatsoever. And, I think at this point... we're just getting a little bit of this going on. Got web up again. So, also fine. I don't see any immediate hazard disposal. It'd be unfortunate if something on here had it, but I don't believe anything does. So, there is a sleeping Necrozma on the field. I literally might as well. If he's gonna burn off sleep turns to try to let me get spikes up, again, that's fine. So, cool. I'll take it. So we got all 3 layers up. I will take it. At this point, I would like to invite Last Ace to the stage. I didn't want to choke on bringing Smeargle in on a Psychic or something along those lines. So, if I'm gonna get something else statused, I guess that's okay too. So we'll just do that. Here's the thing, though. I haven't seen a fourth attack. I really get the feeling it might be, I wonder if it's Thunder Wave. If we see Psychic now, that... Oh, it's Iron Defense. Interesting. I see now why he did not like that switch there. So he has Iron Defense, Moonlight, Toxic. This was designed to be a hard stop to Zygarde. Is what it was. So that's actually pretty fine. So we've seen Moonlight, we've seen Toxic, Iron Defense, and Shadow Claw. That's 4 moves. There's no stored power on this set. And believe it or not, guys... oh, nope, did not mean to click that. I'm not actually in here for another hazard yet. And he gets the immediate wake up. So... that's already ready, I guess. I have a power play I can make. It'll take a bit. Definitely. Now, if I've counted this correctly. I mean, this is kind of a curious turn of events. So let's go for that. So, if my calcs are correct here, which I'm pretty sure they are, I'm calling it right now. It's a 2-turn series of plays with Smeargle. I live on 1. Then I do this. And with my last HP on my Smeargle, the boy in combination with Fairthorn is actually able to get every entry hazard up possible on my team before he dies. Very important. And now, Root. Now I show you my Z move. Because if he wakes up, he Toxics. Or he wakes up in Shadow Claws. I'm willing to bet you he'll Toxic if he wakes up. Yep. And he misses. That is so super stupid unfortunate. Man. And that thing just almost straight up died. It was Citrus Berry. But... oh, Yappa Berry. Interesting. Okay, so it's time for Charizard to really start punching some holes. I don't have a lot of time to do this, but... I think... Now here's the thing, I did consider the Volcanion switch, but with Stealth Rock and Spikes, it dies immediately. So, he technically doesn't even have a safe Flamethrower switch. Volcanion is dead on sight. He has Gardevoir around, which the one scary thing I realized is, by doing this, I do give it solar power. But it takes a butt ton of damage. It no longer has its Choice Scarf. Because it gave it to Ferrothorn. And Cinccino, if it is Scarfed, it gets caught in the web. It takes Stealth Rocks. It takes Spikes. And it still ends up being net slower than a Z Sunny Data Charizard. So big boy. Big boy with the power play. And he scoops. He scoops from there, realizing that nothing can be done. The Flamethrower would have knocked him out. The Gardevoir would not have lived beyond that point. And the Volcanion would have died to Hazards. So, I would like to say that it was a good match, and the hacks was very unfortunate. We all know this beast, and that is the game we play. It just so happens that it kind of bit him in the butt there with missing Steam Eruption, and you know, with missing the Toxic on the first turn on Charizard. I don't find that to be as consequential as I do the Steam Eruption, because the Steam Eruption missing on Zapdos gave me such a huge security to be able to bring in Charizard later, as long as I could outlive the Kartana. But that's the game, and yeah, holy shit, wow. Root is actually here as well, by the way, so excellent job on the game, Root. So from this point, this is where I normally jump into my post-commentary, so my locker room video. So for those of you guys that are wondering, you know, why I had the mons that I had, to bring what I did, I do the locker room on the on the other half there. And it turns out none of these are actually fucking here. Give me 1 second. So, Root, the one thing I did want to communicate to you, and I think somebody actually did it in Whispers, is this thing retained its form from the previous game because I did not move it. And like, even when I move it, it still thinks it's the water memory. That's what should have happened. A manual attaching and removing of the item should have happened. So, I mean, I hope that was communicated to you that at that point that, you know, that mon was that. But I'm sure you actually already saw on the battle screen as well that it was a normal type. So that was me preparing a little bit too quickly. So, not to jump too far off track. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into what we have known as my locker room here. We're just going to go on my regular stream layout right here. So Smeargle, I knew webs were going to be big here. I was expecting Crobat. I was expecting some kind of defogger here. And the other thing I did want to note is I have Magic Code here for Necrozma. Okay, so Root says he did see the normal typing. As long as you saw that before the Beedrill play, that's probably the most important part to me. Because I didn't want you to feel like you got cheated out of that turn. But the fact that you saw normal typing would have meant at that point that you would have known it could have had a different item. So that's why I really felt the need to clarify there. So, but I had Magic Coat for Necrozma to bounce back Stealth Rock, Toxic, Thunder Wave, what have you. I figured it would be a good matchup against it to set him up. And then I just had the 3 hazards. I figured I could go Hog Wild since the only grass type he had was Kartana. And then once that was gone, I was going to get some momentum going, if it was to be gone. I actually had an Earth Plate Zygarde in this one because bluffing against a lot of the slower mons that I could have been a Banded Zygarde. With, you know, that 1,000 arrows hurting pretty hard. The thing is Zygarde 80% of the time usually only needs to hit 1,000 arrows. So having it be Earth Plate boosted means, and hey, we got a new subscription there, which is completely ruining the mood. But I had Extreme Speed on here in case he actually brought, he was the other one to get Zygarde. He got Zygarde 10%, which is something I was really fearing in this matchup. I didn't have a lot for it. And I feel like the best thing I would have been able to do was Gyro Ball with Ferrothorn. But the fact that it was not there gave me a little bit of breathing room. But to go back on my behalf, I have Crunch for Necrozma. I thought Trevenant would have been a pretty power play there, because it would have been another grass type that would have been able to take it down reasonably well. But I also did have a Mega Medicham as well, which, you know, an Ice Punch on a Trevenant would have hurt pretty badly too. And people are kind of questioning why I didn't bring Mega Medicham. There was a lot of Psychic types here, guys, and there was some Ghost types too. It was just like week 4. I was kind of scared to bring it and use it. Plus, I had other routes that I could have used, you know, as my keys to victory there, I guess. This thing was EV'd enough. Actually, no, it wasn't this that was specifically EV the way it was. I think I just gave that thing max speed and max attack just because. And then Zapdos, I actually made this way. I gave it Hidden Power Ice to be able to take on Zygarde Dog, or Doggard, as those of you guys know. It's got Discharge, you know, just to kind of help out in case Smeargle's webs get blown away. And then it had a Heat Wave for Kartana. I felt like this was a really good answer to Beedrill, to Kartana, to Crobat, to a lot of the faster things. Chinchino was a little bit of a concern, but when you have 3 Mons on your opponent's team that immediately have trouble getting through one of your Mons, you better bring it. And that one happened to be Zapdos for me, which is why I went full defensive on it, because of Beedrill and Kartana. And that's pretty much it. I had Roost, which I actually think I used everything there, so whatever. This guy was... he's here just to have other hazards that Smeargle didn't. Also kind of helps against switching in on Kartana as well as Beedrill. And I think the other thing we had going on there was just Dual Stab. I had Power Whip for Gastrodon. I was actually kind of fearing Gastrodon against Zapdos. That would have been a little rough. But it got tricked to Choice Scarf, and we still actually managed to get some mileage out of it. So it didn't work out too badly. Other than that, it's just a physically defensive, you know, slow-ass Ferrothorn. It's not like the usual Smogon spread. It's actually a max for Relax, but, you know, that's what it does. This guy was probably the guy that put in a lot of pressure near the end game. I just really wanted to find a good opportunity to do it, and I think I got that against the Necrozma. Versus anything else, I think it would have been a little bit trickier. Gardevoir would have traced my Solar Power, so I couldn't have Sunny Dade. Chinchino at certain points of the game was still faster and could have knocked me out with Fire Blast. On top of that, I don't think I would have been able to kill it off with a stock Flamethrower outside of the sun with no Solar Power. I would have had to have set up in order to securely knocked it out. Volcanion would have died to Stealth Rock and Spikes. But even before that, I had to make sure that all of those were up in order to make sure it wasn't a switch in. It just wasn't there at that point. It was below 50%, so it was dead. And then this guy, let me tell you about how much planning went into preparing this guy. I had Ice Fang for Zygarde Dog. I had Flamethrower for Kartana, which actually KOs even with Adamant. I had Rock Slide for Beedrill and for Crobat. Adamant Rock Slide one-shots Beedrill. Adamant Flamethrower one-shots Kartana. Adamant Ice Fang one-shots Zygarde Dog. Does a pretty good damage to Crobat as well. I needed it to be a faster Mon against everything else. And having a Choice Scarf Pivot Mon is really not a bad option here. Especially, you know, with the Parting Shot and the coverage that it gets. Silvally really has not disappointed me in any of these games. Even when it did die, as soon as it did, it still ended up being, you know what, that was a strong pick. And I don't regret bringing it, I just played it wrong. Is usually every case that I've had where Silvally ends up dying early. Or, you know, there's something else that's more important. I appreciate having the mental security with this Mon, but it's just not the time for this Mon to shine. And I feel like in this game it actually did get some mileage with the Rock Slide knocking out the Mega Beedrill. Which made things a lot easier for Charizard to work now that Zygarde was gone. But I think it was really, you know, a lot of these Mons actually played pretty well. And it turns out it was actually... friggin' Zygarde didn't even really do anything. I learned that his Volcanion was Shuka, but outside of Shuka, however you want to pronounce it. But another really important thing that the chat is actually bringing up right now. This is the first game this season that I have brought Ferrothorn, and he has not gotten frozen. The summer is finally here. The sun is out. Sun's out, guns out for Ferrothorn. He cannot get frozen. Actually, he can't. Don't talk about that. But he didn't get frozen in this game, and I'm really proud of him. So I want to give him a round of applause right here on the YouTube.com. Outside of that, I really do think that's all I really need to talk about here. I didn't tweak too much. I think Silvally was probably the most oddball I really had to get here. And then maybe running Crunch on Zygarde, but I know some people that do that on a normal basis, so it's really not too bad. Charizard, Z Sunny Day, it's the set. it's arguably the best site you can run if you're not going to run a Z move. And then, you know, defensive stuff for offensive mons, and then Smeargle, and that's pretty much how it works out. Anyways, that was a wonderful game. Hacks does happen, but outside of that, I really enjoyed myself with the game, and I hope you guys did too. If you did, you can leave a like rating, comment, subscribe, do your thing. You guys know how that goes on YouTube. For those of you on Twitch, stay tuned. I'll be with you guys momentarily. And for everybody else, wherever you might be watching this, love you guys, and I will see you guys next week.